80-somethings at the Hermitage where I work. And I had just finished telling a story, and one of the residents, Irene, spoke up and she said, "You know, that just reminds me of," but then she stopped herself. Now, Irene was a natural-born storyteller. When I'd first met her, she was in a group, and I had asked them about their childhoods, and she said, "Oh, honey, we was dirt poor. Why, you know that we lived up there in the mountains, and Granddaddy never could get a good crop going in that rocky ground. So he had to supplement his income. He had a steal. People used to come over on Saturday night, you know, and they'd bring their jugs and their jars, and well, then they'd roll up the carpet, and Granddaddy'd get his fiddle out, and somebody else had a banjo, and, well, we'd have us a dance right there in the living room. And, you know, my Granddaddy could dance an Irish jig with a bucket of water balanced on his head and never spill a single drop." Then she leaned over and she said, "You know, we were Methodists, we just weren't very good ones." So I loved Irene, and I was ready to hear a story, but she stopped herself and she said, "You know, my mama always did tell me that I talked too much." And suddenly, as I looked at her downcast face, I was back in 7th grade. Mr. Hunter was tall. He had a head full of reddish-brown curls that seemed to be about to leap off his head in enthusiasm. He was always impeccably dressed in a dark suit, a skinny dark tie, a white spotless shirt, shined shoes. And he would stand in front of our 7th grade chorus class and put all 4 fingers in his mouth to demonstrate how one needed to open wide to sing properly. "Ah!" And the boys would guffaw and the girls would giggle, but Mr. Hunter didn't care. He acted like teaching 7th graders how to sing was the best job in the world. Well, one day at the end of class, he said to me, "Oh, Denise, would you come back during study hall? I'd like to talk with you." The boys in the back of the class said, "Uh-oh, you're in trouble." And I thought, oh, maybe I am in trouble. Maybe I've been singing the wrong notes. Maybe I've been singing too loud. It would not be the first time I had displeased a music teacher. See, in 4th grade, when we had first moved to West Lafayette, Indiana, I had gotten so excited because they had orchestra in the schools. That summer in August, my dad and I had gone across the river into Lafayette to the big music store there. My dad opened the door and it smelled like cedar and pine. And the man had gone and he'd gotten a little violin for me, 3/4 size. You know, I'm sure that it was not much better than a cigar box with strings, but to me, it was a Stradivarius. And that whole month before school started, I would take it out very carefully and practice holding it the way the man had showed me, and practiced dragging the bow across the strings, and then school started and lessons. Mr. Snotley, okay, that's not his real name, but that was what we all